So another illegal migrant truck driver has been arrested in Indiana after allegedly running a red light and causing a deadly crash. The suspect was caught and released at the border in 2018 when he was a minor and reportedly got an Indiana commercial driver's license last May. Now, this comes 2 weeks after another illegal migrant allegedly killed 4 people in Indiana after entering through the CBP One app in 2023. Joining me now, Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, obviously this was preventable. No reason why he should have a CDL operating these vehicles, right?
No, exactly. Look, we're going to be dealing with the Biden open border for decades. I mean, this is why we're out in full force in sanctuary cities. We got over 10 million illegal aliens that were released in this country without proper vetting. So, it's going to be decades till we fix what damage they've done. But look, we're making headway. We're breaking records every day, so we're going to keep doing it.
So this happened in 2018 when you had all those people that were still, gotaways, people that were coming across the border. This case is another one. A Venezuelan migrant came across the border illegally. He tried to drown someone just strolling across the beach in Florida, tried to drown a beachgoer. Thank God that this woman survived. But again, a young guy who didn't have a criminal background, but he has one now.
Well, that's why, President Trump's committed to the American people that we're going to have a massive deportation operation. If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. And we said that from day one. Of course, we're going to prioritize the public safety threats because that makes sense, right? But just because you prioritize the public safety threats doesn't mean you forget about everybody else. If you're in the country illegally and we find you, we're going to arrest you and deport you. After they commit a crime, it's too late. Then you had victims, right? So, no, we're going to force immigration law without apology, including non-criminal illegal aliens.
That's right. I want to talk about the DHS shutdown because it doesn't seem to be getting any media coverage now, but this is what Ilhan, Omar, and Jayapal had to say about dismantling ICE. Let's play it.
If we're not going to go back to pre-2002, in looking at how these agencies used to operate without this level of brutality that we are seeing, then we need to figure out a different system.
When we get power back, we have to dismantle them. And we can go back to immigration enforcement as a civil system because that's what it is.
What do you make of that?
Well, I'm sure Omar would love for ICE to go away, right? Because she has her own issues.
Right.
But bottom line is, think about this. Members of Congress want to abolish the Department of Homeland Security that was established after the tragedy 9/11, right? And they want to abolish the agency that enforces the laws that they wrote, right? But they want to attack ICE and call them racists and Nazis and the secret police. Well, if we're the Nazis for enforcing immigration law, what's that make them? They wrote the law. So look, we're doing the same thing we've done for 40 years. I started in 1984. We're enforcing immigration law. Problem is, for the last 4 years, they weren't enforcing immigration law. Every one of them are complicit because they didn't say anything about the open border. Over 10 million people illegally cross that border. We got over, 2 million known gotaways. We got a record number of terrorists and criminals coming across that border. A record number of sex trafficking of women and children. Enough fentanyl kill 250,000 Americans. Over 4,000 aliens died making that journey. And where were they? They weren't saying a word. They're complicit. We're fixing what they broke.
So they've made a few demands, and some of them are just non-starters, I believe. They say they want to make agents show ID and wear body cameras. Well, there's already funding for the body cameras, and they wear their patches on them. They've also said they want to ban the agents from wearing masks. They say that they want to ban racial profiling. That's already illegal, and that's not happening. And they want to require a warrant to enter the private property, even though these people have already deportation orders that you guys are enforcing. Take those, either one of those demands that they're talking about.
The mask is a non-starter. Threats against ICE officers are up over 8,000%. And not just the officers, their families, their wives, their kids. The last threat I got was to kill my wife and children. So I'd suffer the rest of my life. And, they can dox me all they want. I'm the borders.
Doing the same thing to Lyons and his family.
Exactly. Going after their families. But as far as, racial profiling, that's a bunch of crap. We don't racial profile. When we detain somebody and question somebody for a short period of time, we need reasonable suspicion, which is built
That's the
on
legal standard.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing. But people say, well, the Supreme Court allows you to racial profile. That's not what the Supreme Court said. They said we're doing things legally because we have that standard of reasonable suspicion. And once you start questioning them, if you can gather probable cause, then we'll place them under arrest. But look, they want to shut down ICE to require a warrant to arrest an illegal alien. They need to read the statute that they wrote. Again, there's nothing in the immigration law that requires a judicial warrant to arrest an illegal alien.
It's a non-starter. Tom Homan, the great Tom Homan. Thank you, brother. More Fox and Friends straight ahead.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.